All right, guys. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, guys? I'm going to do a quick little clip. I had somebody reach out. They was asking about how I look at AJ notes and how I trade them. Um, the best way I can answer that question is when you're looking at AJ notes, you have to understand that he's trading them based off range, right? Let's just say pre-market, you might have a stock up. Let's matter of fact, we can use KBH, right? And KBH today, you have to understand the reason behind the trade, right? So like KBH was on his notes, right? Perfect example. KBH gapped up, had nice range. So let's look at this real quick, right? Let me go ahead and zoom out. Just zooming out for you guys so you guys can see. So we close out right here. We wake up this morning. Here's KBH gapped up pretty much. So you have a nice little range in this, right? So now you have to figure out why is KBH up, right? With this one, KBH is up because of earnings, right? They had good numbers, better than expected, or whatever the case may be. So now we know why it's up. So when you're trading AJ Room, you can have bios, you can have upgrades, downgrades, you can have earnings. There's always something behind the trade, like a reason behind the trade. So that's the catalyst, is what we look for as day traders. You want to have some type of catalyst so that you can have nice range, but the catalyst is going to tell you how to trade the stock, for example, right? So if you guys want to look in KBH, I'm going to read off his notes on KBH. Let's go to that one real quick, right? And this is how I would trade his notes, right? Let's just say if he's saying a stock is gapping up to, I'd like to see this pop a little bit more towards 26, 27, right? So let's zoom out a little bit, right? Market opens up, ding, 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 zoom in. Right? Market opens up, ding, 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 right? Boom. It pops, right? Makes a nice little run. Boom. AJ wanted to see a pop. But if you're going to trade the pop, you have to understand the size that you're playing with, right? Because what he's probably thinking is he's going to get some kind of short squeeze, right? Basically, what happens is all these people who are shorting the stock, right, are now put in a bind. Right? So what would happen is, because of that buying, what happens is it causes them to panic, and this is part of the reason why you're getting this pop, right? And then you might get other people in here seeing that they had good earnings or also want to get, and it causes a nice little pop out at the open. So you get the pop, right? But let's just say you got in it, right? And you wanted to trade this and you wanted to trade the pop. In your mind, you have to put in your mind that the what if, right? There's no trade that's going to work to perfection, 100%. There's always the what if, right? So let's just say you start with 200 shares, right? You have to factor in, if it does not give you the pop and this does yank on you on 200 shares, let's just say you get a nasty yank all the way down to $23, right? But you bought it at about 25 bucks, right? That's a 4-point hit. You're going to be down on 200 shares, $800 out of the gate, if you allowed it to continue to pull like this, right? So that's your mind frame. That's what you have to put in your head. What if I don't get the pop? How much of a hit am I willing to take, right? So that's why you have to start charting things out and getting the feel for it, right? What if it does pop, right? Then you're going to take profits. Where are you planning on take profits? You have to have a game plan. AJ gives you his game plan, right? So if you're going to trade his game plan, then you better be following his notes to the T. If you're not going to trade his game plan and you're going to wait for certain setups, like in his case, he's saying it's going to pop towards 26, 27. Well, if it does pop towards 26, 27 and you decide to get in and you want to try to short this back to the downside, then again, you have to have in your head, all right, he's saying 26, 27, right? You're getting in at, let's say, 25.70. Well, that's 2 points almost to the upside, right? On 200 shares, right? So if it does go against you, you have to say to yourself, on 200 shares, if it goes against me, I'm going to take a $400 hit, because 2 times 4 is 4, right? So that's a $400 hit, right? If it goes against me, right? That's the amount of room I have to give it. Or you can average in. Let's just say if you want to start nibbling. Sometimes you say nibble in. That's a starter. You can start. If you're going to play with 200 shares, well, start with 50 shares or 100 shares and give it room towards that area, right? And then once you start seeing the stock is collapsing, then you take it, right? Same thing. Let's just say if you wanted to do 200 shares here and the stock does pop, you don't take profits. Now you're getting a pullback, right? So let's just say you started with the 200 shares. If you wanted to add into your position, wait to see a trend break or some kind of curl happen, then you add into your position, right? Now you're getting a curl on it. So that's how you would trade it, right? So let's just say me personally, I took 200 shares right around here this morning, right? I was looking for a pop, right? I waited for all this. I thought it was ready to pop. I didn't wait for this trend break, but I was looking for a pop. Once it got rejected and started pulling, my stops was just below my entry. I got out. I didn't get the pop I was looking for. Well, I did kind of get it, but I didn't get it. I thought it was going to get the curl. It didn't happen. I killed the trade right away. There was no waiting, right? Because my thought process is, if this continued to pull, I would get a better feel anyway. So what I did was just waited. I clearly waited until I got this trend break. Here's the trend. I drew it once it opened, here's the pop. It pulled. I watched these levels, got rejected. I popped it on here, and then I just left it alone. My thing was, I will not take this long until I get the trend break, right? So if you're looking at his notes, he's basically saying you're going to get a pop and then you're going to get a pull. If you get the pull, start looking at taking this stock long. Where is he saying? 24.50. It pulled pretty much to 24, and I'm going to give you the exact numbers, right? So this is where he felt it was going to pull around 20. This is 24.56. He wanted a 24.50. So right about here would be where he wanted his pull to happen, right? So that's 24.50, right? Let me zoom up because I noticed that you guys can't get it, babe. You guys got to go upstairs. So if you're looking at this, right, 24.50 right here. Can you guys see that? Yep. So you can see it now. So 24.50 is where he's saying this is going to pull. So if you wanted to wait and wanted to start buying, that would be the level you start buying for, right? Where I'm just more of a technical type trader. I understand that they had good earnings, right? Everything was pretty much nice. So all I did was wait for a trend break, and then I just managed a trade, right? 400 shares, slapped it on, got the move, scale out, put a trailing stop on it, and I'm just letting it play out, right? And as long as my trailing stop doesn't hit and it holds this trend, right, I'm okay. Here it is right here. Here's your trend. As long as it's holding this trend, there's no need for you to get out of this trade. And this is what I'm saying, right? So you have to, AJ is just, he's pretty much coming in. He's giving you stocks that has great news and that has great range, right? So when you have these range, you have to figure out how to trade it, right? Whether it's options or you're playing equity, whichever. You have to understand the range. So if you wait on a trend break, and let's just say, I think these option contracts, when I looked at them, the 25s were like, I don't have it up anymore. I want to say it was like 80 bucks or something. Let's see what they are now, right? And this will be a prime example of how you guys can look at it on an option aspect of it. Let me just load this back up. My software is beating up, and you can pretty much run it up. So this is the same thing, guys. Like the way I look at things now, and what started trading, what started changing things for me. Hold on, let me just type it in. Logging in right now. So what started changing my trading was once I understood the news behind the trade, I started doing things like I would be trying to short a stock that had strong catalyst. and I would get cremated, but it was because I didn't understand the news and I was just trying to trade off technical and I didn't understand what was going on behind it. So I would take small hits, and over time, small hits start adding up if you're on the wrong side of the trade, right? And that's what I started looking at. So let's just say KBH. I was looking at this earlier today, but I ended up doing equity versus KBH. All right, so like I thought it was like 60 something or whatever. At open, KBH 25 calls were at $95. The low it went today was 66. So let's just say if you waited on this trend break, you could have probably got these contracts. The low it was 66. They previously closed at 47, so today's low was 66, right? No, sorry about that. Today it opened up at 95 cents, right? And then it went all the way back down to 66. So at 66 cents, these contracts that you could have picked up for $66 are now worth $1.38, $1.38. So again, just waiting on a trend break and understanding where it's going, you could have picked these contracts up pretty cheap here and made a nice return on your money. So you pretty much doubled your money so far, right? Because you invested 66 and now they're up $1.38. So pretty much you almost doubled it right now, right? So, and this takes how high it can go. Again, strong earnings, overall chart. If you look at the overall chart, this has been getting beaten down the past few days, right? So let's go look at that. Let's do have our do 100. Right, so let's zoom out. Look at this. So this thing has been getting beaten down. Well, today they had good earnings. So what do you think will happen, right? You should get a pop out of it, right? So, and that's what you play off of. That's the emotions that you're playing off of. And that's basically what I was looking at today. And this is the reason why I wanted KBH, because I felt as if, one, if this pull, right, it was a buy opportunity to me with the great earnings. And if this gets going, eventually what will happen is you'll start squeezing all these people out that shorting this the minute it just start really showing itself. So again, his notes is to help you gauge how to trade it, right? And you can see it happening here. There was nothing to panic about. It was all about your entry. So typically when I say wait for a setup, these are setups that I wait for. I wait to get it at some kind of support on a trend break so I can have some kind of risk reward, right? That's me. I want to play this to the upside more than the downside. Why? Because they had outstanding earnings. Their earnings was great. 9 times out of 10, this should push higher. I just have to wait for the setup. Let's go ahead and short squeeze it. Get the short squeeze. It pulls back now, which is fine. Profit taking, right? They wake up the next morning. The people who bought it all the way down here are now going to want to probably lock in some profits. You're locking in some profits, right? Once it settled down, breaks the trend, you start getting new investors, right? And then you just ride the wave right back up, right? Once you pop 25.70, you get a nice push on this because you're popping the high. But again, we're buying at a low. Why? Because we understood the catalyst behind it. We just had to wait for the setup. Janny always says, wait for the setup. These are things that he's trying to tell you guys. Wait for the setup or stuff like this, right? Some people might like taking it off of the 50 EMA. Some people might like trading off of the 200 EMA. I mean, it's whatever setup that you like. Wait for that setup, then take a position and get it to go. And that's what you're looking for. Like say for instance today, right? Another one that I had on list, and I clean this up now. So let's look at CAG, right? Negative earnings, right? And I pretty much, on my last clip I did this morning, this is my third one today, which is rarely I even do two. But today I was telling you guys you can bounce this one. Why? Because here you have a trend break. This is pretty much sold off. At some point you got to get these shorts to come in and cover and take some profits, right? And I think this is what's pretty much going on. Can you start getting some new buyers in here? I don't know yet because their earnings were not so great. So I felt as if it did start pulling, to me was a telltale was right here, was an area where if I did want to bounce it, I would start looking at a bounce. And as you can see, once it reclaimed that area, found some support right there, it started giving you a nice slow curl off the bottom. Right? Again, right? To me, I'm only scalping to the upside. Why? Because the overall catalyst is negative, right? The reason why I wanted to short this at open, right? So any pop, at open, I wanted to try to take this down. Call happens. Everybody knows in the call, as CEO, what is he probably going to do? He's probably going to talk positive about his company, which is the reason why it pops it. Once the call is over, you typically get the sell off, right? Which is why the sell off will happen, right? So now you get the sell off, find consolidation, and then you try to bounce it back up, right? So this is how you trade some of these things. These are the things that goes behind it. And these are the way that you have to think about some of this, right? And this is how you capture majority of the bigger move of trades. And that's what I'm trying to say. So the person who reached out with me was a little frustrated. I understood why he was frustrated, but you have to understand the reason behind the trade, right? He's going to give you, he's telling you how to trade it, and there's a reason. So if he's telling you that a stock that is up should pop at open, you have to put in your head, why is he saying a pop at open? Is he saying it because the earnings were good, or the phase 2, or whatever the case may be? Is he saying it because of that? Or is he saying it because he thinks he's going to get a nice little short squeeze, then some profit taken, which is how you got to start thinking. Once you start getting that concept, if you don't want to pay to play the pop at open, that's fine. Don't play the pop at open. Wait for the pullback. Either way it go, the end goal is to make money, right? I know some people make money right out of the gate. Some people make money towards the end of the day. Some people make money in the middle of the day. You know what I mean? You have to just be patient and take what you're comfortable with trading, right? His notes just give you several different ways of trading a stock. You have to figure out what is the best way for you to trade a stock. You can trade options or equity, right? Options, you just got to put a little bit more work in it. You got to go look at the delta. You got to look at the theta. You got to look at the gamma. You got to look at certain different things, the volume, the open interest. You do a little bit more research so that you can pick the best contracts for that trade. But if you do pick the best contracts, you get a nice return. Like, say, for instance, KBH, you're getting a nice 100 and somewhat change % return right now, right? And that's because you waited for the setup. WBA, same thing. You know what I mean? If you wait for these setups, you get nice change and nice returns back. Hold on. All right, just had lock. WBA was pulling. So I had some option contracts. Locked some earlier, and then it started pulling. I just wanted to lock a little bit more. I didn't want to give it too much range to the downside. So again, guys, what I'm saying is you have to understand the news behind it, right? So like today, he had a couple price targets upgrades. He had an upgrade. He had earnings beat. Increased dividend was one of them. Earnings not impressive, but had an increase in dividend. Like stuff like, listen, there's several reasons. You had Goldman Sachs come out and downgrade 2 stocks, which was Ross, R-O-S-T. R-O-S-T, right? So let's look at this one, right? Prime example. To me personally, if I wanted to trade this one, with it being down, there's no way in heck I want to trade this right out, short this right out of the gate. That's me, right? Because you're down. If we take it at open, 99 bucks, you're down, what is this? Almost 3 points, right? Just say 3 points. If I take 200 shares, I have to be willing to take a $600 hit, worst come to worst, on this trade. That's how I'm thinking. So if he's telling me that Goldman Sachs is cutting the price target and people are probably shorting this and thinking it's going lower, that's fine with me. What I will do is I want to see if I can get some short covering and play that aspect of it, right? If it sells off all day, oh well, I missed a trade, right? That's how I think about it. So you have to try to put in your mind frame on how you're going to trade his notes. And that's how I trade his notes. What I try to do is figure out is, if he's saying a pop at open, why is he saying a pop at open? Is he saying he don't think it's going to pull at all at open? He thinks it's going to run out the gate? Was the earnings that strong? Was the bio news that strong? What is it, the reason why he's saying what he's saying? And that's what you got to start looking for. Once you're able to knock those out, at that point, I think that's when you'll feel more comfortable with taking sides. So now, I mean, before I was taking 150 shares, 200 shares. Sometimes I'm taking 500 to 1,000 shares on my positions. 2,000 shares, depending on what the trade is, what the news is. And if I'm seeing, like, say, for instance, if I see that I'm taking a 10-cent risk, well, on 2,000 shares, I mean, that's only $200 hit, right? I would take that. And if I'm saying that I see at least 2-point upside, well, I'm putting 2,000 shares and I want to see if I can get at least $4,000, and I'll risk $200 for $4,000. That's my mind frame. That's how I look at trades, and that's how I trade it. And that's how I play off his notes. If I do the research and I find a trade I look like, that's how I trade it. WBA, prime example. All right. WBA earnings wasn't bad. They was okay. To me, I felt as if it did pull, I didn't have much risk here. So I went in with decent size this morning and got a nice pop out of it. So majority of it up here, scaled out, let the rest pull, and I just put a trailing stop on it. And I was fine with it. So if I get stopped out, which as you can see, I started taking profits on that on my option size as well, that's how I want to trade it. Broke the trend here. I didn't get stopped out, popped. I'm talking to you guys now. I'm seeing this pull again. To me, I'm like, man, I missed all of this. Why would I just give it all the way back down here? Because if you break this level, it's going to pull more. And that's how I was looking at it, and that's how I played it. So again, if you guys are understanding the news behind it, you guys can kind of create a trade, a game plan, whether it's off AJ notes, or if you're taking AJ notes, you can come up with ways to trade it. And that's basically all I've done. I've done nothing different. All I did was start understanding the news behind the move. And once I understood that, then I was able to trade it. And then every trade, there's a certain way to trade the news, which is another thing I found out. And that's what you want to pay attention to. When you get the news that he's giving you, they all kind of play out pretty much the same. But at the end of the day, if you guys want to know why I did cut this one, I'll show you guys. So if we look at the daily, right, look at this guy. Look at that. So it's been trading within this channel. It's at the top of the channel, broke it, couldn't take this little daily downtrend out. So that's what I was looking at. And once I seen it getting rejected, I figured I'd take profits just in case if this dude pulled back, I will probably allow it to pull back and then get back in. So again, technical wise, this is why I got out of WBA. This is what I'm looking at. If it does pull back, probably get a better entry and then get back in it again, scalp it. Hopefully I can get it a nice pull. So I won't touch that until I see a nice entry again on it. But that's the stuff that I look at, and this is how I gauge my trades and some of the stuff I look at when I'm trading. And again, guys, if you guys have any questions, just like the gentleman did today, he reached out, didn't understand what was going on or why or how I was trading it. Reached out to AJ. AJ was cool with me doing a little clip on it, on how I trade his notes. And basically, this is exactly what I do. I understand how he's trying to trade it. I understand the news behind it. If I don't understand the news behind it, as you guys can see, if you see my other videos, I think Ross was actually one I had no clue about, and I did not trade it, but he nailed this one, right? But there's no way I'm getting into it because I didn't understand why he traded or whatever the case may be. I didn't do my research on it. And he's killing this one. He's long in this one, which is fine, right? But again, I didn't trade it because I didn't have the news. I didn't understand the catalyst behind it. All I knew was down. When I found out why it was down, I was just like, I mean, this could have been a nice trade, but which is fine, right? Pull back. Even if you look at it, you look at these, and then guys, don't be scared to flip around on time frames. Time frames tell you how much room a stock will have down. Let's just look at 180-day hourly, right? Look at this, right? So you're starting to see some support right in this area. So you don't have much risk anymore on this trade. So, I mean, why not try to bounce it at this level on a trend break? So these are things I look at. So I have other charts that I'm looking at and I'm scanning around. I'm trying to see where's the setup at, where's the perfect entry, and this is all I'm doing. Look at it, and you can see where my trend is hanging. So if I wanted to adjust this, let's just say if I wanted to do a trend off this one, and this would probably be one I would probably just keep on, right? Nice trend up here. So to me, if you wanted to take this short off of the Goldman Sachs news, there's no way in heck you can take it short. Look, it's telling you straightforward that this is pretty much strong. Why are you shorting this? What, because Goldman Sachs said it? Okay, well, wait until the damn chart tells you to short it. There's no short in this until it shows you. None. I see none. Right? What was the other one I think we talked about? MLH. What was that one? Right? MLHR. Right? Was another one, right? Blowout earnings, everything, right? And I think a couple people try to shorten it. But to me personally, there's no short. And I think I told you guys earlier when to take it short. And this is what I was looking at. Look at it, the strong trend. So if I wanted to be even more accurate, right? Boom. Right? Look at it. It's telling you now, it broke the trend. Now you can get a pullback. And as long as you stay in this trend break, right? You stay in it to the downside, just log profits along the way. So, right? If it breaks it, then you get a flag. A flag is forming on hourly, right? So you have to watch it. Here's your trend. That trend breaks, it push higher. If not, get rejected, we go lower, right? If you took it short up here, you're taking profits along the way, right? Look at your risk. And this is what I'm saying, right? Put the trades in your favor. Don't take the trade just because, right? Put it in your favor, right? So you got a 44.58. Today high is 44.75. I don't think that's a bad risk. If you think that's a bad risk, take 100 shares, risk $25, right? High of day. If you're correct, you get money. 200 shares, you're risking $50, right? And so on. And that's how I think about trade. So when I'm taking positions, these are the setups I'm looking for and how I'm trying to trade it, right? And that's all you're doing. Right now, this is a strong flag. You got to be careful on it, right? You scalp it. This is nothing but a scalp. Why is it a scalp, right? The earnings were outstanding, if I'm not mistaken, on this one. I think they had great earnings, right? You're at an all-time high, right? Everything right now is so bullish on this stock that anything on a short side is a scalp unless you get a complete breakdown. So it's always tight stops. So as you take profits, you move your stops right into your entry. It keeps pulling, you take some more off, you move your stops further down, and then you're just locking profits along the way. I know I'm talking a whole lot, but what I'm trying to do is just give you guys a good feel on how I trade certain things and how I look at things. And that's how I look at it. Let me just remove all this. Right? Put everything back because I would forget and then screw up on the trade. So look at this one, right? So it's the same thing. If you look at this one, every time a flag broke, it pops. Flag breaks, it pops. Flag breaks, it pops. But every pop now is getting weaker. Look higher. Look at that. See that? So now this is a trend. So this would be a trend that I want to watch. Right? So as long as I'm shorting this, that's what I'm watching. Right? Every time it tap it, if I was late entry, same thing. And I wanted to get into this, what I would do is wait, a trend reject. Now I'm in it, and then my stops are up here. Bingo. As long as this level does not break, I stay in this trade. And then I just take profits along the way on every pull. Right? And that's how I would trade it. So again, guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out, man. I don't mind helping. Listen, I understand I was not perfect. The guy was telling him I blew probably like 3-4 accounts along my journey. And I'm not scared to say it, but through those 3-4 accounts that I blew, probably 5, to be honest with you. One of the things I did was every time I blew an account, I try to figure out why did I blow the account or what happened, right? Again, look at it, you can still see it. I mean, perfect downwards trend, have a flag. This is the level, and AJ, this is what AJ is looking for. So if he's looking for more downside, this, and he's saying, hey, you got to break this level. So to get more downside, you need a 44.05 break. You break 44.05, then guess what level you're going to? And this is how you walk trades down, right? And I hope this helps on how I look at it. And then that's where you'll be going, 43.92. And you just continue, walk it down. And this tells you whether or not you should stay in it short. You break it, you get the hell out of it, because that's going to tell you more upside. And then you just walk it down, right? And if you can see how, you see how the gap between these are tight, right? If you start seeing this gap is getting overly extended, then you create a new trend, right? Let's just say that is the trend. Let's just say this one is getting overly extended, right? And you're like, all right, I don't want to give it that much of a bounce back into the trend, right? So the last time it peaked out and bounced, and so now you bring it here. So now you start walking this one down, and you just continue walking down. If it does bounce and you want to get out, see, and this is what I'm saying. So we could be making money now just watching this trade, and I'm telling you how to trade it. And this is a scalp to the downside, right? Where did I tell you that you should have been locking profits in the first time? Look, you should be locking profits right here, right? Look what happens. People are probably locking profits right here. Reason why you're getting the bounce, right? Because that's what they're looking for. So if you can start spotting what other traders are looking for, this is how you capitalize, right? So, and then you keep walking it down, right? If this trend breaks, you probably get a bounce. Remember, this had great earnings. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to push it. At some point, you got to have some kind of profit taking happening, which is what's happening here probably. And it's coming back down, but it's more of profit taking than anything. Once you curl it back around, you get another push towards highs. And you do that over and over and over, right? Again, guys, if you guys have any questions, I hope this helped. I know I probably simplified things probably a little too much. AJ probably want me to go in deeper details if I'm explaining something, but with me, I try to keep it as simple as possible. I know you guys probably say my charts look chaotic, but it's not to me. It's just pretty much simple. Listen, I've been in AJ room. A couple of traders been talking about VWAP. I've seen them make nice money on VWAP. Listen, I never use VWAP, but you damn well, you better believe I'm going to put this VWAP on my chart. If I'm seeing this guy bouncing off VWAP and he's taking short off VWAP and he's making money on it, well, let me add that on. So now I have VWAP on my charts because apparently a lot of traders do look at it. The 50 EMA, this is just a 50 EMA, nothing special about it. I just want to see if it pulls back, and I'm seeing if it's holding within these areas. I use this as a level of support, but my big support areas are the ones I draw out, and I'm showing you why, right? And that's how I look at stocks. Again, this is basically how I view it and how I try to trade it. And watch this. If this comes here, gets rejected, we get more downside. If not, it bounces right into this trend, breaks that, you get more upside. So these are levels where if you wanted to get in short, to me personally, this is chasing, because now you have all this upside on the possible bounce if you take it here, or unless you're going to have a tight stop on it, which will probably be right around here, kind of like a double top, 44.35. So basically, if you take it anywhere up here, you're looking at a 10-cent risk to bring it back down. And manage it. You can take a trade any way, anytime. You just have to have a game plan. As you can see, I just came up with a game plan if I wanted to short this again. So that's how I look at everything, and that's how I trade it. I don't do anything special, guys. I literally sit back, wait for setups, wait for trends, and take it. All I need to know is, like, what is the catalyst behind the trade? Is it positive? Is it more negative? What is it? And then so I can know which way to lean in heavy and which way to go in light. Basically, that's how I trade. I was trying to see if any questions popping up. I don't probably have to go back in and set everything. But hopefully this helps. I reach out to AJ and let him know I did it. He probably listened to it. I don't know. But guys, again, understand the news, the catalyst behind the trade. You have to understand the overall market. And as you can see, it's still coming down. Couldn't break the trend. So you still should have more downside. key level to break is what, 44.05. Why? Because this is the last time it bounced off this area. So you break that level, you go lower. Again, if you guys have any questions, guys, feel free to reach out. Listen, on my YouTube account, one of the things I'm doing, I'm trying to put out as much information as possible to give you guys an insight on how to trade stocks, what to look for. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. I'm still putting together a system that I feel comfortable with. So far, this is the system that I feel comfortable with, and this is what I've been trading off. So now I'm digging deeper into the news is basically what's happened. So the more I dig deeper into the news, the more I get better feel of the stock, the bigger the sizes I can take, and that's what I've been doing with my trades. So again, guys, if you guys any question, guys, feel free to reach out. I'm happy he did reach out. He was a little frustrated, but again, it's because he didn't understand the news behind the trade and why we was looking at the trade and wanted to trade the way we wanted to trade it. So even if you have the news, you have to understand how to trade the news. And sit back. Listen, AJ Room, if you come in there, you just have to be in there for some time to grasp what he's doing and how he's viewing different stocks. And again, that's why. So like if somebody wanted to short this, I would probably be like, no, it's not. You have to wait to put this trade in your favor. If you take it here, I mean, you just got to give it room. So when he tells you, hey, if you want to take it short, you got to give a stock room. This is basically what he's saying to you. And this is what he's looking at. And then you go from there. But again, guys, hopefully this video will help. If not, reach out again. Let me know. Send me an email. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, whatever you feel, and we can go from there. But other than that, guys, that's it for me. Feel free to reach out. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to the channel, give it a share, give it a like, whichever. But I will still be pushing it out. I was trying to wait to see what this was going to do, so you guys can see why I say what I say. But as it's starting to do what I'm wanting to do, basically, that's why I wouldn't short it here, because you have the support here. This is where it bounced. In order for you to take this short, you would have to take these levels to get more downside. If this continue to bounce, we can bounce. But I don't know if you guys want to sit here and watch this, see how it plays out. And listen, if you guys are on here, feel free to ask questions now. I'm actually looking at the feed if anything is coming in, but if not, that's basically it, guys. Is it gonna bounce? So you guys can see the flag forming. If it pops it, push higher, get reject, it goes lower. And yep, that's basically it. So let's see what happens. And there's, listen, other thing. He said he's always chasing stocks, right? There is no need to chase stocks. Listen, there's always something to trade, right? If you don't trade anything, just wait for a setup. Once you find the setup, take it. I mean, no need to force anything. I mean, there's dozens of stocks out there that you can trade, right? Just wait, flip through them, go through them. I do it all day. If I miss all that morning action, whatever, I would literally walk away, set a trend, put an alert on it. I get the alert, now hurry up, come back downstairs, get into the office, get into a trade, and boom, rock out. So it's not like I'm tied up and I need to do anything. I literally wait to see what's happening with the stock. Where AJ, totally different trader, right? AJ get in here, man. Bing, 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 boom. He's knocking out trades. He's in it. He's knocking them out. He thinks he's gonna pop. I can't do that. I'm not that fast of a trader. I'm a little slower. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But me personally, I just like to wait for the setups, right? And that's basically what I'll do. So again, guys, any questions, guys, feel free to reach out. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you're hearing. Give it a like. Give it a share. All right, guys, I am out. If you guys are still watching this one, again, 44.05 holds. I think we bounce it. 44.05 breaks. We get another pull right in here, and to get more downside, 43.92. And like I said, VWAP is sitting just below that. So I know a couple traders probably would be looking at VWAP. So that would be the thought process on this one. All right. All right, guys, take care. You know what? Before I do pull out, look at this setup. So if I wanted to scalp one, right? That's what I'm saying. Let's get tricky. Wrong tool. Right. So prime example, this one right here would be one where if I wanted to scalp this, but we're about to go into close, so it wouldn't. Typically what happened is traders are trading this off of VWAP and stuff, right? So I noticed this on the side chart, so I figured I'd say something about it. So like this one right here, the only reason why I wouldn't do it was because that resistance sitting right above it. But with it being said, if you wanted to take it, you would have to risk the trend, right? Show you guys, right? So if you're trying to take it, you got the trend break, you got to take it here, and your stops on this, no matter what, would probably be here or VWAP, and then you'll try to bounce it. But again, you had resistance just above it, so it's a little harder to bounce this one. I probably wouldn't, but that's starting to set up, and these are things I look for across the board. Just fell, and then again, you can't. To me, I don't see the range in it to even short it, because why? You have this support sitting right. So what's that? 54.74. Not even a. That's barely 10 cents. When you get 10-cent pull on this. So, and that's what I look at. So I wouldn't even bother about this one. I like to see like nice little ranges on trades that I'm trying to take. This one is too tight. We couldn't hold it. If you could have probably bounced it, but just too tight. So I wouldn't even try that one. All right, guys. As you can see, I can do this all day. I'm just looking at charts, and I end up starting scalping things, and that's basically what's about to happen if I keep looking at these charts, scalping something. Let me take this off because it's gonna come back. And you guys see it, still holding. Needs to break this, break that. You can probably get another little pull, but I think it's gonna pull right in VWAP, which is crazy, but it works. So I'll watch it and continue to learn how to use it. Check the other one out. See it? So why did I tell you guys not to? I wouldn't take it. Look at that. The resistance is sitting right there. Got rejected and it's starting to pull. Right? So that's why I didn't want to take it. So if I was to take it, my first thought process is probably take it off VWAP. If this trend breaks and holds, then my first part is 54.78. Still not enough range for me to really make any money, so I probably wouldn't take it. I like to see like distance. When I see a big old space, I'm in it and trying to bounce it. So your stops would be 64.68. That one. ML, what was it? MLHR. It. All right, same concept. You need to take out 44.05 and then you get more downside. So again, that's basically it, guys. I don't have anything else to say. You guys are pretty much saying I'm trying to show you guys everything I do. People are saying I never lose on trades. I do take losses. I just minimize the loss that I'm taking. Like today, I did get into KBH. Am I saying that right? KBH out of the gate. Try to bounce it, didn't work. I was out. Quick little, I think it was like 10 bucks. I mean, listen, I can take $10 hit every day this week, right? It'll totally up 50 bucks. Now, the trades that do work for me, right? If I'm nailing 200 shares and I'm getting 50 cents to a point on it, or 100 shares, I still capitalize. I'm still making money for the week because I minimize my loss. Like, I literally care about how much money I lose on the trade. As far as upside, once it start working, set up a trailing stop and let it do what it do and try to maximize my gains on it. And that's why I think that's why I'm doing okay now. Before, I used to not care so much of the downside, like my stops, and I used to average in. I'm not the greatest at it. I suck, and that's how I lost a lot of money. Now that I've changed that, it started working. The BBA, right? Look, look what just happened, guys. Right, rejection. Look where it went to. If this can't hold, from what I've been watching, this yanks pretty hard, right? So this is what you want to see. So now you just adjust this trend. If you're trying to take it here, you have to have tight stops to take it off VWAP, and it's just a scalp off the bounce. And then if the bounce start working for you, then you just put a trailing stop on it and play it out. So you shouldn't even care about this anymore. You would want to adjust this. It's been violated, so you just make minor adjustments. Right, minor adjustments. You see why it's getting rejected. Nothing big. Pop this level. See if you can curl it. If not, this goes back down. Stop should be just below this. Right? And this would be one. If it does, you get stopped out. Who cares? So listen, me personally, it was tight stops. You have to respect it. Closes below this, you're done. Because look at the downside. Come on. Show you this downside. Right? So we broke this level here. We're breaking this level right here. Nope, this is where it probably goes if you break it. So that being said, let's just say you took it off that level. Now that we pulled out, that should be your stops. Just below VWAP. If it doesn't break that level, you're good for a bounce. Oh shoot. This is your risk. Right? This is when you're trying to bounce it. But me personally, I would wait for a trend break. Like right now, this is happening. What I like to see is I like it above my trend. Goes above my trend, I take the position. Here's my stops. If you're trying to bounce it, no matter what, this is your stops. And that's how you would trade it. So it's the same thing. If you're looking at AJ notes, these are the stuff I look at. This is how I trade it. This is what I'm trying to do. And I get decent entries. I might not catch the bottom, but typically the bottom is probably like 5 to 20 cents away sometimes from my entries. I mean, I don't think those are bad risk on a trade, 10 to 20 cents. So like just say for instance with this one, I mean, look at it, right? I mean, I don't think that was a bad risk. If you took it at 66, 64, so you're taking a freaking 2-cent risk to see if you can bounce this. I mean, come on, guys. And if this bounces, this is it, right? And this is look. So a 2-cent risk, guys. This is 2 cents. 2 cents to do this, right? So 2 cents, 66. You're probably already almost up. Get the still can't get one. So what happened is you got to manage this trade, right? So you got a 2-cent risk, right? So 54.74 will be the level that you have to get above to push higher, and then you take out 57 and push. So again, still you're taking a 2-cent risk to get a bounce. I mean, to me personally, I don't think that's a bad risk to try to bounce this on something that had decent earnings, okay earnings. Overall, this is probably some profit taking. Once profit taking stops, try to bounce it or scalp. One of the reasons why I'm saying scalp is right now the trend is to the downside. You're doing a counter trend, so you only want to scalp this to the upside. Now, if you get a full-on curl happening, and at that point you move it to the upside, it turns into a trade to the upside. But your thought process would be scalp to the upside. You want to probably take profits right when you see your P&L at a point where you like it. This is what you like to see right here. Now you want this level to hold, probably push higher, take out this trend and go. Again, you still have to take out 54.74, 54.75 to get more upside. So now it's just a patient game. See how the trade would develop in your favor. Still was just a 2-cent risk to trade. To me, I don't think that's bad. And with this one, might fail, might not. Let's see what happens. VWAP. And always look for range, right? So let's say you take it here, you know resistance is here, you got to look at that range. But this is just an example trade. Typically, like I said, I like to see range. So if I would have seen this all the way up here or something like that, you better believe I would take this trade. I just don't feel as if the reward is there for the, well, 2 cents is still 2 cents. Getting some volume trying to come in here. So this should try to push. So far, area is holding up. You just have to wait. And the trades do, and another thing, guys, the trade does not work right when you pull the trigger. Is another thing. A lot of people get into a trade and expect to go green right when you're in. Listen, majority of the time you take a position, you're going to be red, right? Because you got to factor in the spread. The spread might be 2-3 cents, it might be 5 cents, 10 cents. So you're red on the trade automatically. Now, if you're getting it within the run to the upside, you might get in it and then you're green off back and then you're going because you're buying right into the push. So that can possibly happen in your green. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, the trades that you take, you'll probably be red. And then you just got to manage it. So this one's so close into close. I'm just trying to see if you can get last minute pop on it. We'll watch this one. Remember what I told you guys about CAG? Overall was negative, right? The bounce was just a scalp. We'll come back to this one. CAG, right? Overall sentiment on the trade is negative, right? And I told you guys, listen, the pull, you're going to get the bounce. Here's the bounce. Once the trend break, you take it short. Why? Because overall, this is just a scalp. This is profit taking on this short covering, the short covering. This is what caused this little nice little bounce here, right? Once the trend breaks, and then what happened? Sell off, right? WBA, so you should be stopped out. It broke your spot, your support level. So you're stopped out, right? So you should be stopped out. So 2 cent risk with this one, that's like a scratch, like not even a scratch, 2 cents. You're done, right? But if it goes your way, boom, you nailed the trade. But again, the overall sentiment was to the downside on this one, right? Because you're trying to counter trend trade. So you have to keep tight stops on it. Now, if this was on a flag break, let's say this one, right? Flag broke it, all right? Boom, you get the pop, right? You get the run. You're trying to get it from down here. I hope that was a little in depth, or like what I look for and how I trade certain things and why I take certain positions. I don't know if it helps. I don't even know what more to say. But again, guys, if you have any questions, comments, if you guys have any questions, comments, guys, please feel free to reach out and see levels trying to hold. But that's it for me, guys. I'll be back at it tomorrow. I don't know. The guy who reached out to me was somebody who traded with me live, and he's trying to get me to go back live trading out of the gate, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it, so you guys can see when I'm taking positions. But the thing is, YouTube is also delayed. Just a couple things I'm trying to figure out, where I can trade live or how I can do it, so you guys can see when I'm taking positions, why I'm taking positions, when I'm getting out of the positions. It's pretty neat. Also gave me a way of interacting with people. But again, this is WBA, totally failing right now. So you guys already know where I told you this one would go if it broke that. right? Let's see. So typically you guys see me moving the mouse around. I'm just putting the level so you guys, this is what I'm actually doing with my mouse. And I'm just touching the spots, and once I see the level I'm looking for, I don't have to draw these lines in so much. But that's it. I mean, even here, you're looking, that's still not a bad risk. This is what, a 10-cent risk basically. 2 cents, 10 cents, whatever. So to try to get this to curl around. But yeah, guys, but that's it, guys. All right, I'm serious this time. I'm gonna shut down. I would look at charts all day, chart, and this is how I get. This is practice to me, guys, and this is why I probably don't mind doing it on YouTube the way I'm doing it. But again, this is why I think this is still want to pull back. You're not getting any buying. You're starting to get a volume, selling pressure picking up on this one. See what happens? Clear downtrend. Need to get it a break. So if it was me, I would wait for this baby, but we don't have enough time, so nothing. But the overall sentiment is to the upside. So Laz is someone else who's on. He's actually writing right now. He's another one who wants me to go back live. I don't know. I mean, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but again, I just got to get. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. My wife is like, no. She doesn't like it because I don't like anybody losing, just like I don't like losing. So I think it becomes a little stressful if I ever hear anybody follow the trade and lost with me. It's like, nah, I got to make his money back, and that's just my mind frame. So it's that. Here it goes. Still wants more downside, no long. And just basically it, guys. I'm like literally showing you guys what I look for, how I trade, spots I'm looking for, how I come up with my levels on the spot. Is just, this is basically what I'm doing. There's nothing special. I'm allowing the chart to tell me the overall trend broke to the downside. So to me personally, there's no reason why you guys should be trying to load up or size. Look, this is what I'm saying. Overall trend is broke. Okay. Once you break the overall trend, come on. Overall trend is broke. You scalp it to the downside. So right now, shorts are in control. Allow the shorts to have their fun, and then wait for your opportunity. Don't rush it. Start getting the curl. Shows itself. Then you get in there and bang it back to the upside. It's two ways to make money in this market. You just have to pick which side is yours. So let's just say if you took it here on the short side, you're looking at, again, prime example, right? Prime example, right? I told you guys earlier, the way I trade, my risks are either anywhere from 5 cents to 20 cents, right? Look at this one, right? If I wanted to short this 55.07, you're looking at a 12-cent risk to get this. So you risk 12 cents and look what you got out of it. I mean, that's not bad on 100 shares. Come on, 200 shares, still not bad, right? And this is what I'm trying to get through, you guys. It's a lot. It looks like a lot. It's really not. These little dots that you're saying, someone shared this little PSAR with me. I've been trying to track it. I haven't figured out a way to come up with a strategy with it. Like, to me, sometimes it's late, sometimes it's early. But right now, had I respected, so right now, let's just say if you're looking at this, had I respected, even if we wanted to bounce it, this is telling me there's no bounce in it because it's still red. right? Where this one flag break, this one is trying to tell me that it's a go on this candle where I would have spotted on this candle. So you guys can see why I haven't. It's like it's late to me. It tells me late. I'll figure out something. I'm still playing on different time frames with it. I do back test a lot of the stuff that I do. So yeah, a couple days a week. Oh, I mean, I do jump in live, Les. One of the things I've done was if I'm taking a position, what I try to do is right when I'm taking it, I jump in and be like, hey, I'm taking this one long on the bounce and say why and get off. I think it was my way of like, I don't have to see the comments of people saying, hey, I'm in it with you. Can you stay on and stuff like that. And then on top of that, my kids are here as well on the summer. So that's been another thing. But listen, trying to figure out how I can do it. I do like chatting and stuff. Cool. I think that was another reason why I joined AJ Room. More of if I wanted to chat and throw a trade in, it was easier for me to do it that way. Just put it in notes and keep it moving. So again, look at this one: 10-cent risk, 2-cent risk, however you want to look at it. Still not a huge loss. You're still in the ball game. Yeah, to get a bounce. So this is stuff like right now I'm talking to you guys. What I'm doing is just looking at it. So let's just say if this was an AJ trade, I don't care who it is, or if it was one of my trades, I am literally breaking down this trade in my head and watching the price movement, starting to get a feel for it of where it's going, what levels it respects. I'm looking at different time frames on it right now, as you guys probably can't even tell, but I am looking at 5 different time frames. When I do flip it, I'm looking at 8 different time frames, and just trying to make sure I'm not getting blindsided with anything technical wise, because there's all kind of different traders. You got long-term traders, you got day traders, you got swing traders, you got everything is coming in. So I've learned not to just look at one time frame, flip around a lot. Right now I'm looking at a 5-minute, might flip like I'm doing it now in front of you guys, but this is why I don't do it, because it looks all jumbled up. But say for instance, if I was looking at another time frame, this is what I'm seeing. See the base? So it's base in here. Now what I want to see is some kind of curl to start forming into the close. So again, look who's here. VWAP getting rejected on it on a 1-minute time frame. This is stuff that you really wouldn't see on a minute. I mean, on a 5-minute time frame. Some people trade on a 15. Some people trade on hourly. I just flip. So let's go look at the hourly. And these are time frames I just continuously flip around and look. Hourly, there's to me nothing here. There's just a straight downtrend break. See it? That's what I'm looking at. See if I can flip to something else. 30-minute. I do this all day whenever I'm in a trade. That's what I'm looking at. So everything so far is still telling me to the downside. I haven't really found anything that's telling me to bounce it. So I flip back to the minute chart. Right, the minute chart is, see, still not doing anything. Consolidation, still nothing here. You need to get a curl to go. If AJ was trading this thing will look butt naked. I don't know how he does it. He probably like, hey, I'm long, I'm gonna bounce it, and it just go his damn way. I don't get it, but I'm more visual. So I look at it. These are stuff I look for. So look, to me personally, I do have that trend there, but there's still another trend that's like right on it. It's getting rejected. See, this is what I was looking at. I was watching this and see, it's getting rejected. Why I showed you guys. Why I'm like, more downside. Right? There's no way that you should be trying to bounce this right. Can't. There's nothing here. There's everything right now. Shorts are in control. Let them have fun. We have fun pre-market. Listen, don't be greedy. Everybody needs to make money in this market, right? Let them. Look at us. This is all us. We had fun on the long side. Take your profits. and then allow the shorts come in and make theirs, right? When they're done with it, then if you want to play it alongside, you take over. That's it. What's the other one? That one ended up breaking down. Nope. So remember this one that we talked about earlier? I told you guys to walk it down. MLHR. Look. Right. Again, no long. Look. I said if it bounce, let it bounce into the trend. If it get rejected, you can take it short again. Same thing. Other than that, if we were still short, I forgot where we were at. Were we up here somewhere like that? I don't know. Whatever it was. What time frame is it? That's why I can't really. It's on a minute time frame. Let's go to 5 minute. Gauge it off. Yep. So I think we was up here. I was saying it was going down, and I was telling you where it was going. Look where it went, 44.05. We broke that level. Now you're going to 4. And I said as long as we stay within this trend, the short is still on. Don't get out of a short until you break it. Again, another one of the guys in AJ Room, Fire Trader. This is one of the things he does. This is what he's looking for as a technical trader. I mean, he's watching the trends. He's watching support and resistance that he finds on his charts. He might have different ones for me, which is fine. But at the end of the day, it's what you have on your chart and what makes you comfortable. And that's what you're looking for. This video went way longer than I wanted to, but sorry. Hey, listen, if I'm practicing, you guys can always just like cut it off. I don't know. But this is just me looking at charts. WBA. I just keep flipping around when I want to set up, and this is how I find setups. And again, look at this. So again, 2 cent, 10 cent, whichever one is still in it, it's not a bad risk. We knew where it can possibly go to. Why did we know where it was supposed to go to? Because we was looking at prior levels where the stock bounced, right? See that? Prior levels where it bounced. So even with this one, if you want it to be very picky, which I am sometimes, market. Edit properties. So you can see what's going on, right? So listen. Now, when it pulled, we didn't mark this level. Look where it pulled into, 54.62. Look where it was, right? Once it gave that level up, look where it's trying to go. Once you reclaim it, all I do is start trying to get these levels back. Once I get it back, I'm looking for a bigger move now. And that's what you want. This is how you put trades in your favor. This is what you're looking for when you're taking trades, right? If you want to do it off the technical aspect. Now, AJ just has a feel for a damn stock where he can be like, hey, it's going here. This is where I'm buying. And he'll just pull the trigger. I'd be like, hey, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. But that's his style of trading. Whatever. He's profitable. I don't knock it. I don't know how he does it. And then if you guys want, watch this. Pretty neat to watch. Flip it to the minute chart. Told you I flip charts like. So look. Getting a little barcode here, but again, look where it's holding at. Look at the level. You see this? This is wild, right? This is just looking at prior support and resistance. So if you want to know what's happening now, this is what's happening now. You go to the minute time frame. This is why AJ loves the minute time frame. Boom, there it goes. Right. So now we go here. Right. This is all you're looking at. Right. So once we flipped it on the minute time frame, once we flipped it to the minute time frame, we noticed that it was trading within this tight little range of what? Where do we find this range from? Let's go back to the 5 minute, because that's where we found it at. Right? Slow right now. So this is the range. It was trading within this tight little range. Finally popped it, got the pop and go. Not holding, so you still got to watch it. But again, you're still holding that trend break. For this to be a positive for me. So if I was trading this, right, on the 10-minute chart, let's just say I didn't take it here and I wanted to take it, same thing. I would have to wait for this candlestick to close. I can't do anything. this candlestick close above this trend, I can take a, all right, right, like right now, I'm taking a position long, and in this case, I would be stopped out. And that's how I trade. But there's no way in hell I'm doing this until close. You'd be freaking crazy to think I'm doing this. But that's how you would trade it, right? So the pop, again, you wait for it, closes below, and you just do this day in and day out. But you have to respect your stops. So you might take $5, $10 hit here and there, but when it gives it your way, the trend is playing in your favor, you're making $200, $300, $400 on the trade. And again, if you don't respect your stops, to say if we took it here, you didn't respect your stops, right? Because you didn't want to take a 10-cent hit. Look at what you're taking now, right? Because you're counter trend trading, right? Whenever you're doing that, you have to have tight stops, right? So if you're trading with the trend, right, it's easier, right? Right now, you have to trade. All right, trend is your friend. That's what they say, right? So what is it? Right here. This is your friend right now. If you're going to go against this, tight stops. If you want to join the trend, once you go into the trend, you see the rejection, you take it short. Hopefully I'm making sense. You want me to explain gap fill on charts? Okay, fine, we can do that. Do you have a particular ticker you want me to do it on? Did you trade something today you want me to do it on? If you did, just let me know. We can pull it up now. RD. Here's the pull. Trend is your friend, guys. So to me, I am happy I closed out my WBA. And this was the telltale. I did catch it late. Happy I did come home. Otherwise, I'd still be in it. I don't know if you're still in, but if you are, who had a gap fill? I don't think WBA didn't do any gap fill this morning, did it? No, I think it did a half gap fill. This is W. So like this one. See if I can real quick. CAG, I think you pulled right out the gate. KBH, you didn't do. Any chart will do. Trade AMD today. Okay, so let's go AMD. Let's see what AMD had. Come up with some on it. This one today. All right, so AMD. Oh, perfect. Right. So look, pretty much did the gap fill pre-market. So anyway, right. So this is what you want to look at, right? AMD, prime example, right? You trade AMD. If you was looking at this, let's just say I got so many levels on AMD. This is one of the tickers I trade a lot, right? But anyway, AMD as a prime example, right? It closed right around, let's say 29.94, right? Gapped up, pretty nice this morning. But look what happened pre-market. It pretty much filled majority of the gap, right? And then it bounced. This is what you want to happen when market opens if you're not trading pre-market. When you see this right here, this is majority of the gap fill. So once you start, if you wanted to take a position, a 30.05 is not a bad risk, right? Because if you look at here, this will tell you that you're coming into support. So if I was trading AMD, right, and I wanted to play this today, one of the key levels I'll be looking for is right around here, right? 30.03, right anywhere around that level. I find any type of base in pre-market, and if you want, what you can do is draw a trend pre-market, right? Because it happens everywhere. It's just about finding it, right? So let's just say pre-market, right? Bingo. So here's pre-market. So now this pretty much gap filled. If I did take it on a trend break pre-market, my stops would probably be right here, because look at the support right here, right? or use Dova. We can do that one too. I'll do the same thing with that one. So that would be my support right here. And then from there, if it holds, then I know I'm good, right? So let's just say pre-market, ding, 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 bell rings, right? We want to play this to the long side, right? Same thing. I personally won't touch this long until I can get some type of trend break, right? So now let's zoom in, right? Boom, market opens, pops, pulls. I typically will wait for some type of settle down. You zoom in some, right? Look what happens, come up, tries it, breaks it. It finally breaks this trend right here. This is your long, this is your stops, right? But if it continued to pull, which is fine, right? This is when you refer back to what happened pre-market and after hours yesterday on a continued pull, right? So if you did pull and you wanted to start, here's your starter. Here's your risk, right? And then you fill the gap. You said Dova, D-O-V-A. Oh, look at this one. So even Dova, right? I don't know, was this like an earnings play? Was this something on AJ's list? Let's see something. FDA approved supplement new drug application. So he basically didn't like it. He didn't care for it, but he's got a gap to fill, right? So when you're looking at something like this, right? This is a prime example of something that if you're starting to see a breakdown, you can probably take it short. Why? Because you have a nice gap to fill. See this whole entire gap right here, pre-market? This is what he was trying to fill. So, trying to zoom in some. Can you see this level right here? Can you see it? Let me mark it so you can see it. Right? This is what you want to look at, right? This is a gap up, right? So if it does pull and break this level, you need it to stay below this level right here and pull. You want to fill majority of this, right? To get a full gap, this is where you want to come down to, right? But here's the issue. If I was looking at this one and this is one I wanted to trade, I think this is a possible long. Reason being, you're getting some basing, and 1126 was yesterday's high. So even if it continued to pull, my risk would probably be 1126 or these candles on a trend break. And let me show you the trend break. Come on, there you go. So here's your trend break, right? You take it here. This is your candlestick to take the stock long, right? If you were shorting it, right? Once this level broke, I'll show you that level. This is how you know you're in a good short, right? Here it is. That one, take it off so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Bingo. So once you break this level right here, this is when you know you'll get more downside. Where are you going? You're going right into the support level. So these are levels where you should be scaling out of your position, right? And once it breaks it, once this trend breaks, you should be complete out here. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get some short covering and you'll get a bounce, right? So let's look at it. Look how it play out. Look what level it respected all day. It told you. It told you pre-market, right? Look. In the bounce. Right? That's it. And listen, even if you was caught in this, right? Let's just say it's telling you the range. Pay attention to the range. So if you was stuck in this, you just had to be patient. There's two things that's going to happen. It's going to break to the upside. Here's your range. If it breaks to the upside, you push higher. If it breaks to the downside, you go lower. The stock tells you, you just have to take the time out to notice what's going on in it. Hopefully that helped. I don't know. But these are stuff that you look for, right? And then you start looking for support. Like I use the 50. Here's the 50. It's holding support. So I'm not too worried about it. Even if it breaks it, here's my risk. Not too worried about it. So I'm staying in this trade. And this is what you're looking for, right? Why do you think it breaks out and it pushes? Because traders are looking for this. Once it broke out to the top side, you hear some people say, all right, this is ready now. That's what they're looking for. The range break. All right, trend break. Here's a range break. Got the range break, you push higher. Right. So let's zoom out again on this one. Right? Where did this level come into effect? Why do we have it on a chart? Remember, pre-market, right? Why did it have some issues right here? Why is it playing the support? It's all done already. You just find the levels where you see it. It tells you, and you trade off those levels. No problem. All right, guys, I actually end up going way longer than I thought I was. Hopefully that helped. If not, please let me know, guys. Reach out. Market is over. I probably will be going through after hours. I think Nike is also one reporting today after hours. So I know what I'll be doing right now. Is this Nike? Yeah. Nike. So what I'll probably be doing now is after hours, what I typically do is as earnings start coming out, I start reading reports and then start setting up trades for tomorrow. Start setting up my charts on levels that I'll be looking for. And then as it plays out and set up, I'll be ready for tomorrow. So again, guys, that's it for me. I'll be watching that. I think their earnings coming out. There's a few pretty good earnings. I think there's a couple good ones coming out today. Got to go look through the list. But again, guys, that's it for me. See you guys tomorrow. Nice idea. You don't use daily resistance. Yes, I do use daily support. I do use daily support. Support and resistance off the daily, I sure do. I'll use it off the hourly, the daily. Shoot, as you can see, I was doing it off the 5-minute on the intraday chart. I use it anywhere I can find it, where I find key support and resistance. And that's what I would look at. So like if you're looking at Nike now, I'm probably going to dig deeper because I haven't charted, right? So like Nike, I'm actually doing it right now as we're speaking. You probably see it better. You start seeing levels popping up. And so what I'll do is like Nike, I'll start marking out levels. So if they do miss and we pop 84.02, it'll have a nice little room towards 86, right? So you can see the levels are pretty much drawn up. I just got to go clean it up. If you guys want me to sit through this with you guys, I will once they release it. So what I do is start marking my levels of where it had issues in the past, and if it breaks those levels, where I'm looking for. So if they beat and there's great numbers, I think it has room towards. Zoom out on this one. Give me a second as I start setting this up. It's caught me off guard on this one. With me. So if I was trading Nike, I wanted to play this into earnings tomorrow, or well, I don't play into earnings. Let me rephrase that. After the numbers and stuff come out and I read the report, like I pretty much have all this set up, and as you guys see, so tomorrow, if I like it and this is something on my radar and it gives me the range that I'm looking for, I would have levels pretty much drawn up. These are all the new levels, and I'm doing it actually right in front of you.
ICF secures major position.
And then when I go here on this computer,
contract. Yep.
Which they haven't released their earnings yet. And then what I do is once the earnings reports are released, I start looking for certain things. Like say for instance, this is on the has a nice little trend. Something I'll look for overall. And all I'm doing now is pretty much getting the feel of the overall chart. Bingo.
Coming up in 5 minutes, the Nike
So like theirs come out in 5 minutes. I'm already listening for it.
FC Foxtrot Charlie Franklin movie.
And if you can see it, it's trading within.
Sales
Let me
of
show you the bigger
56
time
million.
frame.
That's ahead for
We do
FC.
a daily. All right, so this is what I'm. As you can see, it's pretty much already charted out. And this is what I'm looking for. It's trading within the channel. I start gearing it so if they do push, I need to know where that upside channel resistance is, just like I did on WBA.
A loss of 19 cents that expected for FC.
And this is one I can probably sit through if you got. Hey, listen, if y'all want to see these numbers, let me know. I'll go a little longer on YouTube, and you guys can see how it react towards levels. It's up to you guys. If not, I'll probably just shut down the YouTube and just do it on my own. So
India, Papa.
Going to earning whisper right now. I need to see what's all coming out.
CHMA, Chiasma.
STZ. So what I'll do, like I'm doing it now in front of you guys. We'll come back to that. They come out in like. They haven't released. Oh. I'll do the same thing with this one as well. I'll come in here, chart it up. And all I'm doing is starting to prep for tomorrow. So as you can see, this one is pretty much clean. I haven't did any levels on this one really. So I'll just start putting levels on it. Seeing level. And these are all tickers that I would like to play tomorrow, that'll possibly have range. This one I don't have this level. On this level on my chart. So these are levels I'll be looking on STZ. Probably missed some of the other ones that came out. JKS, did they already come out? And if they did, what's the range on it? Okay, you here with me? All right, Les. So JKS, I don't know if they reported. So I'll probably wait for them to report. I don't know what kind of range they're going to give us. Set this back up.
PBR, Petrobras,
PRGS.
Bronco, sale of distribution.
Waiting on that Nike to come out. So like PRGS, I don't know if they came out. If they did come out, weak to me. I would like to see more volume in this one. But again, let's see where this can go to. Aggressive. All right, so seems like they just released it. Seems like it's pretty good. So first part of resistance would probably be 49. I mean 42.94. Wow.
66 cents.
All right, so as you guys can see, my first level is up. This is basically what I want to see. I want to see how he reacts to these levels. And then what I would do is tomorrow, depending on how it reacts on those levels, I start gauging it to see how I want to trade it. Trying to get these. Give me a sec. All right, so look where Rad went into. As you guys see, I'm pretty much almost, so 43.52. That'd be a level to watch if I did want to trade this.
Nike is out now.
Nike's out. Let's fit the Nike.
62 cents. Non-gap 65 cents. That's a penny short.
Penny short.
Nike 65 cents.
They miss by a penny. Not too bad of a miss.
Revenue of 10.2 billion is ahead of estimate. Nike missing on earnings.
So they missed on earnings. So I can see the numbers. And you guys can see how my spots are coming in. So I personally don't trade it right now. I will wait.
Here, 81.35.
Now what you want to do is go read it. You guys can see. So now we're breaking this one. Listen, this one has some room here. Let me see. Did I miss some levels now? Now you just watch these levels. 80, 79. I don't have anything in here as of now. You can go there. 79. Watch the 79, 74. That breaks, we get more downside.
And that 62 cents is the
all right. So not too far off. We got to watch this level. 74, 79, 74 broke it. So now we know we're going down. This is giving us so much freaking range tomorrow. So we're coming into major support on this one. So this is me formulating my ideas for tomorrow on how I would trade this. And then, but you have to read the report to see how bad they miss.
Nike shares continue to drop here.
I don't think so. I don't think their numbers were that bad. I haven't read it yet. I still haven't got it yet. Come on.
Nike says quarterly rate of China total 1.697 billion versus 1.8 billion.
So they reported 62. They were supposed to get about 66 and above. So they missed out on revenue. It was 10.2 billion. What was their? I have to wait for them to update it. Numbers aren't too bad as of right now, but
PRGS
again, you have to wait for everything.
65 cents, 7 cents.
I'm telling you, the numbers aren't that bad. From what I've heard, it's not bad at all. So, but again, this is
Nike getting a bounce now.
Of course.
$81.20.
This will be interesting tomorrow. So you guys can see the range. So this is all right. So basically, what you want exactly right?
UAL,
Crazy
United
drop.
Continental says effective June 7th.
But the numbers aren't that bad. So now what you want is, which would be key. This is when AJ comes into play for me, right? What I would do with AJ now is I would read the report. I'll try to find analysts, whatever, see what they're saying. I don't see this unless there's a numbers I'm not getting. I don't see this coming down tomorrow. I think this the number. Listen, 62 per share, and 66 is what they like. This is one of those things. What I'm saying, this does not warrant this drop. But again, you have to wait for all the information to come out. They still got to do the earnings call and all this other thing have to come out. So if that is the case and the numbers aren't that bad, I would probably try to bounce this tomorrow. If the numbers are bad and they say something negative in the earnings call, because you still have that part of it to factor in. So the reason why I don't do this, right? It was one time this number came out, well, twice, where numbers came out, but the earnings call happened and the CEO said something positive and a stock ripped on me pre-market. And as you guys know, sometimes the spreads can get crazy and I got hurt on that. So now I just step away. I don't do this pre-market stuff. So boom, as you guys can see, so it's even holding today's low. I'm just playing, I'm just watching this. So it has nice range to the downside as of right now. But again, we have to read the report. Whoever bought this down here, if this is anything near not that great. STZ earnings come out. Let's see if I can get this on the screen. So as you guys can see how I formulate. So now, typically what I do is, what happens is I'll sit here and watch this. I'll find out what's basing on it. These are my bigger time frames, level of support and resistance. Now what I'll do is pre-market. I'll watch it, pre-market, and then same thing. I'll come in here, and as you can see, I'll leave that here. I know where that can go. If this gap's down, I'll start marking these areas out. So if this level breaks, this won't mean anything to me, but I'm just showing you guys what I would do. That would be a level to watch. And then I'll just keep it on. And the reason why I cut it in half, because it's telling me this level pre-market is something I was watching. You can go to earnings whisper is where I go to. If you go on earnings whisper and then you read the report, that's where I go to. So this call is going to be key on this Nike. Find out what's being said on it. So this is irrelevant, and then I'll just wait, see what's happening on it. And again, what other? CAMP. P. Much range. Something. I read your report. CAMP. See.
ECRX, BioCrest Pharmaceuticals says, expect to report data from phase 1 ECX.
So like SGH, we'll come back to Nike while that's setting up. SGH, I think we chart this. So SGH gives you a nice little range.
13D filing out now
Basing.
from Michael Golf India.
This one.
Ripple Labs showing a 9.95% stake in
into an 1801.
MoneyGram.
You break, you got room 16.
That's in the filing.
Ounce. Distance.
Little pop here, but
fill the whole gap. Yeah, earnings whisper.
Shares now at 279.17.
So like this one, I'm set up for tomorrow. I'll read the report, see what happens, see if there's any downgrades, upgrades on it, and same thing. So this dotted line is the daily uptrend. If we can't hold the daily uptrend, I'll look to short it. Tomorrow, if we can reclaim yesterday low, I'll look to bounce it. It is consolidating. So I'm starting to formulate a plan already on SGH. Gives you a little bit of range, pretty cheap, so you can take some size on this one once it gives itself. Here it is, it's holding daily uptrend. Holds that, you reclaim that, then you can start bouncing this one up. It's that one. So I have that one on watch. CAMP is not much. Yet. Let's see. What yet? Let's go back to Nike. So to me, Nike is going to be all about this conference call. See if still watch just downwards trend. Doesn't broke it. If we break it, I think we push back up. Depending on what happens on this conference, be key. And then I just play with my charts and set levels up and stuff like that. And that's basically it. So like Nike, I'm pretty much just trying to hold this upwards trend now. Continue holds it and push back up and probably push back up. But again, this was one I'll be watching tomorrow. I would love to know what's going to be said on this call and see what analysts come out and say on this one. Charts I will be showing you. TG. And that's basically it. So I told AJ I was going to do a video. I might just redo the video for AJ because this one went way longer. I did way more than I thought I was going to do. So I don't know. But other than that, guys, Nike will be on my watch. I don't know if STZ reported stars, whatever they call them, haven't reported. I have CAMP. Not much range just yet. I'd like to see if we can get more range out of that one. CAMP. Let's see if I get more range out of this one. Nice. So this is one I'll probably have on watch tomorrow as well. This one up soon. This one can, if it gets going, but I haven't read their numbers. But what I'll do is, like I said, typically chart it. I dig deeper into their numbers. Find out who's moving after hours. Look at this, 1205. It's already showing you level already. I'm looking, so that's level resistance. This has been killed off. This one to be. So that'll be one I'll be watching. Stop it. Side. True. So this is typically what I would do before I go to bed at night. Just come in here, look at what was moving. What was moving after hours? Why was it moving after hours? Read up on the news. Right into resistance. So another daily downtrend. If we can pop that, we can probably push back up to 13. Get rejected, we should come back down, probably fill the gap, look for a curl and go long. But again, I haven't read their earnings report, so I don't know if there was a massive beat, small beat, if that pop was warranted. Stuff I'll look at. That basically it. So far I have, did I put Nike up? See Nike. See, can't detect it, so that might pull back. Let's pull back probably around that 1143. 18. Yeah, I did. Okay. So far.
There's Deutsche Bank getting a pop here. Delta Bravo, $7.07. EB. VTVT Therapeutics. Share is spiking here at $1.68. Company initiates phase 2 clinical trial evaluating azelagram patient with mild Alzheimer's disease and type 2 diabetes. That's Victor Tango, Victor Tango.
All right, and that's basically it. So today I will come back and see how everything settled out. Start drawing up a game plan tomorrow. Read what came out and see what's being said about it. I don't know. The stars report come out. I was waiting on STZ. I can't tell. I don't see any just yet on that one. Even Hammer. I'm gonna call you Hammer 19. What's up? Let's see, stars. I don't see anything on stars, so I can't really do much with this one just yet. Let me see if they reported anything. STZ. Yeah. You just yet. E. So let's see if they updated this one yet. This is why I wait to get a full update. Yeah. Nike. Okay. Well, that being said, there's not much action right now. Pretty much flipped through everything. Nike is the only one that we would have to wait until the conference call is over. Find out what's being said, what's impacting their miss, why did they miss, figure all that stuff out, hear what the investors are saying, what the analysts are saying, go from there. But from the numbers, to me personally, I don't think it's worth to be down this far.
HSGX,
We'll see.
Hotel Sandy
This will be interesting.
X-ray company filing to withdraw.
You can see the trend break is happening, and yeah, this call is going to be key on Nike. Trying to wait on stars, but it's not happening. They reported already. Looks like they're going to report in the morning. So yep, Nike was probably the only one as of right now that's showing any interest. Then if this pops, if he says anything positive and is not as negative as everybody's trying to make it off this report, off the earnings release, and he comes out and say anything positive, break 84.02, 85.40, it will be in the cards easily. And then so on is what I'll be looking on this. But so far, looking at that report, I mean, I think they did. It seems like they're giving downside guidance and downside growth, but the key will be what he says in this conference call. See what happens. And again, this is a prime example why I say I don't do the after hours trading, pre-market, whatever the case may be. It's just like this one where the report came out, earnings missed and everything, right? But right now, this thing is going totally against what the report is saying. So this is why I say you wait for the setup. So the trend broke, now it's pushing up. You're about to take out today's high. Resistance is 84.02. You break that, this can even go higher.
Shares of Nike. Positive now, 83.75, up 9 cents following their report.
And basically it, guys. All right, guys, that is it for me. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm gonna just go ahead and shut down as of right now. All right, guys, take care. See you guys tomorrow, and this one can be the one on the radar. Take care, guys. All right, so my chart is saying before, yeah, I was just looking at that too. I don't know why I'm saying on earning whisper. You know what? That could have been is it my mistake? Nike, oh, I don't know why. Yeah, he has it down for tomorrow. Hold on, let me make sure. Yep, he has it down. I made a mistake on that one. It's tomorrow morning. So stars, I'll be looking at that tomorrow morning, see how they react as well. Nike. So this trend to me is now, as you guys can see, I changed this all day long. So now you just reset it. Me to take it long. If I was playing this today, this is what I need to see. Would be that break.
PLAG, Planet Green, company's CFO has resigned.
This one.
Replacement. That's PLAG.
Let's put that. Had an extra trend on it that I didn't know. No problem, no problem. So basically this is what I'll be looking at. So far you guys already know a couple of them that I'll be looking at. Tomorrow will make the final decision on what I will trade, as far as which one has the most rage pre-market, how they're trading out pre-market, and what has been said about them in earnings. I mean, from their earnings after the conference calls, what analysts are saying, are they downgrading, upgrading it, and all this other stuff come into effect. And from there to help me gauge how I want to trade stock on an intraday time frame. But as of right now, this Nike, as you can see, seems like I'm not the only one a little confused about this, because for that pull to happen off of what I just read on the earnings report, it didn't make sense to me. It seems like I was pretty much so far right. That's why I said I think the call is going to be key. Is our reports from our analysts and stuff is going to be key on what happens. You guys can hear the audio in the back, that noise in the background. That's probably my wife. She's washing clothes, so that's what you guys are hearing. But yep, guys, that is it. If it's a beeping sound, that's probably my I guess the fire detector upstairs that this thing is picking up. But yeah, I didn't even know you guys was picking that up. It's crazy. Other than that, guys, I'm done. There's no other actions. Nike was the only one that came out that really had any fireworks. Thought it was gonna be more than that, but I guess not. So guys, see you guys tomorrow. That is it for me, and I will also see about this live day trading again live. So take care, guys. Good questions. Is that for me? Love, I don't. All right, but other than that, guys, feel free to reach out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Ezekiel Squad. Yes, Les. Yep. I just listened to that just to find out what's going on. Again, what I tell people who I know who's asking me how I trade and what I do, I always have some kind of news feed going on, so I don't get blindsided. Ezekiel Squad. CNBC is typically always running. It's because I'm shutting down and I'm not trading right now. I just want to be able to chart levels and hear what's going on. I can care less what they're saying, but there's also news coming from them as well. Oh, what is the audio in the background? That's what you meant. Got you. I was off on that one. Hey, thanks, Les. All right, guys. That's basically it. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.